you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro,
Yes.
highest peak in Africa. I've never met a Black person and not a Black woman who is climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
I'm one of those people where you can't tell me I can't do something. Wellness is about taking care of the entire being, and that includes mind, body, and spirit, which includes the mental.
What I have learned, though, over these probably last 5 years is rest isn't a reward, right?
Yes.
That I can just go to sleep.
Those of us 40 to 50 and a little beyond, we're in this special season where certain changes we make now affect us for the rest of our lives. Being old, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're blessed, you get to be old.
Welcome to Bottom Powers Talks, where we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandi Harvey. Y'all, today, the fit, fine queen is in the building, honey. Wait, this camera ain't even doing all this back, honey, this body. No justice. Dr. Basheerah Ahmad is a holistic health expert and wellness entrepreneur. Dr. Ahmad holds a master's in exercise science and a PhD in natural medicine. As a lifelong learner and educator, she has built a career rooted in community transformation and impact, especially through her online holistic health practice, where she offers customized wellness solutions for clients all around the globe. She currently serves as the personal nutritionist to Steve Harvey and the wellness director for Steve Harvey Global, a professional dancer for over 2 decades. Dr. B recently retired from touring with the legendary Isley Brothers after 22 phenomenal years. She's been featured as a health and fitness expert on Dr. Phil, The Doctors, The Today Show, and the Discovery Channel, just to name a few. She is also the advanced fitness expert and program developer for Rick Warren's The Daniel Plan. Dr. B believes progress begins the moment you choose yourself. Bottom Powers Talks welcome holistic health expert and wellness advocate, Dr. Basheerah Ahmad, to the show.
Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, friend. Y'all don't know. See, I be getting excited when my friends come to the show. Dr. B, I have known you for over 20 years.
Yes,
She knew me when I was a mere babe. She was a mere babe. We was just babies, okay? Out in them LA streets.
Ooh, out in them LA streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, first I want to say, I don't know if you realize what an honor it is for me to be on Vault. As you know, I did an interview long years ago. It was right around the pandemic. And when you took over and just took this show to a whole nother level, for me to see where it is now, and then you to ask me to be on, I'm like, what? I made it, Mama. I made it. So I'm really just honored because this show is evidence of someone believing in something and manifesting it.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's what most people's lives should end up becoming.
Yeah.
Is testimonial of the manifestation of what's ever within your heart. So
Yeah.
I appreciate being a part of it and also seeing you with your beautiful self.
Listen, you the expert. I mean, Doc, people don't know. I mean, we brought this show from the ashes. I mean, I raised it from the dead.
Yeah.
Listen,
Literally.
So I'm so glad that somebody sees me. Listen, but I mean, I tell people all the time, to have known you for over 20 years. I met you when I was in college, and you were, I mean, everybody talked about how fine B was, right? When I met B. The legs. Y'all, she didn't cover these legs up today. But baby, just know, under this leather, honey, them legs over there ain't nothing to play with. And everybody talked about B got the best legs. B got the best legs. But you look the same, B. I mean, you have just stayed, you've time capsuled yourself.
Thank you.
And you recently just celebrated your birthday. You just turned 50 years old.
Yes.
I mean, clap it up for that. I mean, you look absolutely phenomenal. I mean, because part of your life's work is really getting women who are over 40 years old to transform not just their body, their nutrition, but their mindset, the way they look at health.
Absolutely. And, Of course I love working with everyone, but once I was like 43 and up and my body started changing, like really changing, and I didn't
I'm there, B.
look, right? And
I'm here.
it's like
Yeah.
these things start happening and you're used to being healthy, you're used to eating clean, but then you don't have this control over your body that you used to. And so I realized, oh, now that I can't say completely figured it out because we're still learning, but now that I have a great handle on a protocol to deal with my hormonal changes, I got to share this with women 40 plus. Love my girls underneath 40, absolutely. But those of us 40 to 50 and a little beyond, we're in this special season where certain changes we make now affect us for the rest of our lives. So what you're doing now is going to change the way you look in your 50s and your 60s and in your 70s and slow down a trajectory of possibly aging too quickly, possibly diminishing your quality of life through, pain, brain fog, other chronic diseases that come on because we don't understand how to take care of this new stage of our body. Perimenopause, menopause, it's fine. We're supposed to go through them. It's actually a blessing. If you're still alive and you can go through those, that is a blessing. So first I want to say that. But we also have to realize there needs to be a celebration of this new stage and this new body that we have. And it's also a reminder to women, we got to slow down and take care of ourselves and realize what our bodies need. So I'm actually embracing this season of my life because, at 50, I've been in perimenopause at least 3 years. Hopefully menopause is coming soon, but I'm going to embrace
You said
this
hopefully?
season. Hopefully, yes. I want to end it.
I'm so scared.
Really?
I think I said this. I can't remember who. I would have to think who was on the show when I talked about aging. And I think it is part of one of those things because of probably the culture that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
We live in this Western culture where youth is celebrated. And if you're not 25 and under, you're not hot, and all these things. And it feels a little scary sometimes. Yeah.
And I can definitely understand that, especially being so much in the entertainment industry as you are, because you're already taken apart for every little thing anyway. But what I love is when those mature women who have the courage to have that mindset that knows something's not quite right with that narrative speak out against it. And you can still be fly. Like, I also don't like the narrative when people act like, okay, you got to be okay with falling apart.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, no, we can still be fly, be beautiful. And even that is being a great role model to younger women. Is like, it's okay to age.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend all this money on all of these surgeries when you're 20 and 30 because you're so scared of looking like you're 35. What?
Yeah. I recently just saw a TikTok and somebody said, it's okay to look your age.
Yes. Who knew, right?
It's okay. Like, but she was like, I'm 42. It's okay to look 42.
Yes.
And you but part of you gets scared with that. Yeah.
And it's very scary because it's going against the norm.
Yeah.
And no matter how strong you are, you still have those little voices inside of you and that insecurity. We all do. I don't care how bad you are, you have some type of insecurity, and especially in social media land.
Yeah.
You're online. Everyone, all these trolls want to criticize you for every little single thing behind their screen. But at a certain point, I think we got to shut out that noise and just understand that the messaging is what the people that you're supposed to get to, that's who's going to receive it, the messaging. And so no one else can be a Brandi Harvey.
Yeah.
Because they don't have your heart, they don't have your passion. You've been that girl since you were early 20s,
That's
Still that girl.
That's for Hannah. Clock it. Okay. Purr.
Is that how you do it? Clock it?
Purr.
I know I'm old.
Clock it. Purr.
Oh, Lord. I'm showing my age.
It's okay. But, one of the things you talk about so much on your social media, Doc, is you talk about perimenopause and menopause.
Yes.
And you said perimenopause is seasonal. It's not the end, right?
Absolutely.
And so I want to give women who are listening the perspective of what are some of those symptoms that they can look out for? Because oftentimes you said it's your hormones that are out of whack. And you the weight gain, all of these different things. So kind of lean into that conversation of like, what can women expect to experience?
Yes, and I do want to kind of start this off by saying your hormones can be out of whack far before when you become perimenopausal. So there's certain hormones that have to be at a certain level before a doctor will actually say you're entering that season. But if you notice, there's so many young women coming up with PCOS
Yeah.
in their 20s,
Yeah.
in their
A
30s,
lot.
in their teens.
Teenagers.
In their
Teenagers.
teens. And so,
Yeah.
of course, we know that's a hormonal fluctuation too. But when it comes to perimenopause, and the reason why I separate the perimenopause and the menopause is because the medical world actually says the menopause is when the cycle actually stops and you're pretty much on the other side of things. The entire duration before then, which for some women is like 10 years or so, can be up to 10 years, is the perimenopause. Sometimes you're going to have estrogen dominance. Sometimes your estrogen is going to be too low. A lot of times your testosterone and your progesterone are low. So some things you can feel without having your blood work done. Just out of nowhere, you're getting a lot of weight gain in your midsection. Now, if you know you're eating crazy, you know what it is, okay? That is not your estrogen.
If they know you at churches,
don't say that's perimenopause.
it's
No.
not.
But things, so say you've kept everything the same in your life, but all of a sudden you're not able to lose the weight in your midsection, or your skin starts looking differently on your face or your neck. Maybe there's a thinness, just something seems to be off. For a lot of women, of course, libido, vaginal dryness, just things that your body doesn't seem like it normally was. My first suggestion is go get your blood work done.
Yeah.
So you know what your numbers are. Here's something interesting. A lot of doctors won't go through your blood work with you, and they won't tell you you're perimenopausal.
No.
No, and as wrong as it is, it's happening probably more often than the MDs that sit down and actually explain, because it takes more time, and that's not a service that the insurance company pays extra for.
And have the people, you get your blood work done, and if you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what these terms are. You don't know what these numbers are. You have no idea.
Absolutely. And in fact, Brandi, that's one of the primary things I do in my practice is I help people to analyze their blood work. And so we can then speak to their physicians. We can, number one, see, okay, is this something that is out of the norm? Is it below the norm? Is it too high, too low? Do we need to get a prescription for this, or can we treat this with supplements and lifestyle factors? Then do another stage, do another round of testing, see if these numbers change. And I work a lot with the MDs on that. A lot of the MDs are actually very appreciative because they're not going to have the time to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different set of circumstances. But what I will also say with once you get your blood work done, then you have to do some changes. Like once you know, okay, this is perimenopause. Many people are going to tell you, especially your OBGYN, unless they're natural side, they're going to say, okay, let's do BHRT, so bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, or HRT.
Yeah.
Now most are trying to do the BHRT.
So for our audience who's listening, HRT is hormone replacement therapy.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And so this is going to come in the form of like an injectable.
Injectables,
or cream.
patches,
Yeah.
the pellets. Absolutely. Now, here's one thing. All right. So years ago, in the late 1990s, so they were determining that, okay, this hormone replacement therapy is causing an increase in estrogen. It was causing cancer, right? So what they failed to do is to have the right subjects for the entire test, right? So to make a long story short, they've recently realized, okay, this test was not necessarily apples to apples. It was more apples to oranges. So the numbers are not what they thought. The incidence and the percentages of an increase in cancer was much lower. So they're saying, okay, the problems or the risk definitely can be so great when you don't have your hormones balanced versus the risk of taking the hormone replacement.
Yeah.
So most of your OBGYNs now are saying, okay, it's okay to do. The risk is minimal. But here's the thing, there still is an increased risk. So here's always my advice, and what any type of doctor that's looking more on an integrative or functional side will say. They'll say, let's look at natural supplementation first. And if your symptoms are still so horrible where they're completely messing up your quality of life, then let's look at dosing you with the HRT.
Okay, so first, I told you before off camera that I have been getting my blood work done since I turned 40 years old. So every year, I just got this year's blood work done last week. So I didn't have my results back to come share with you. I was like so upset. I'm like, I should be doing this right now, having a
You
full
can email
consult.
them, girl. You can
So
email them.
now I'm like, yeah, we're going to talk. So, but when I got my blood work done last year, they said my testosterone was low.
Okay.
And so I started doing testosterone injections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started doing testosterone injections. And now I will say this for all of my folks that are watching. Let me say this. You going to get injected with that testosterone. And you going to make some bad decisions. You know why? You are going, Doc, you're going to make some bad decisions. You know why? Because you're going to feel like a teenage boy.
Yeah.
You are going, it's going to make you feel like a teenage boy.
Absolutely, which can be good sometimes.
And I did not, Doc, I did not have a low libido. That was the thing. When they said my testosterone was low, she was like, do you have low? No, I don't. Like, I'm already like, let's go.
Do you remember if it was your total or if it was your free testosterone? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Okay.
Because, see, that's a difference, too. So, your free testosterone, your free estrogen, those are the hormones that your body can use. So you can have a lower total number, but the amount that your body actually is able to use could be just fine. So those are things to look at too and to understand. Now, the thing with, I would have certainly had you go natural first, because you're in shape.
But you know what, Doc? I really decided to do it because I felt like I was starting to get gain weight in my midsection. And then I was like, I am training too hard, 5-6 days a week, training hard. And I'm not seeing the type of muscularity, like the type of development that I wanted to see. And so that was why I did it. Now, I did that for probably about 6-8 months, and then I totally came off of it. But for somebody who's listening, what would be a natural way to boost testosterone?
Well, there's a lot of different supplements. And so what I always say is make sure you watch the dosage even of natural supplements, because since they're not coming from a pharmacy, they're not going to tell you how many micrograms, how many milligrams, right? So that's my first thing always. But there's Don Quay. There's what is it? I'm going to always say it wrong. Yonkat Ali. There's all kind of things. And the thing is these are all, so if you look at a male, any type of men's natural testosterone enhancement, these are the supplements, the natural herbs and things that are in there. And they've been working on ancient civilizations for thousands of years. They didn't have testosterone shots.
Right.
And they had to figure it out too. The human body is, this vessel, this temple is not the thing that's changed so much. Our bodies, yes, there have been some modifications in DNA, right, over time, but for the most part, this is the same vessel. Modern society, technology, everything is what has changed so rapidly.
Yeah.
The body can't keep up.
Yeah.
And we have to remember that. So we're putting these new technologies into the same ancient temple that was not designed for the new technologies. And then we keep wondering, okay, why are we having all these abnormalities? They're not matching, guys. So if we're not making sure the receptors in the body, in the brain, within the body, match what we're putting into it for us during different stages of our lives, sometimes that can cause a problem. It can be done very, very well. It just takes working with a professional who continues to have you doing your blood work, continues to watch for certain symptoms, and then is okay with either upping or lowering your dosages. So it can be done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those naturopaths who doesn't believe in ever doing a prescription. No. You do what the body needs. But it should be with the hope of eventually getting off the prescription so then we can balance the body naturally. That should always be the main thing that we're looking at. How do we balance ourselves naturally? And then however you get there is however you get there.
I mean, I really think that when we think about the food, we think about our lifestyle choices, right? All of those are playing into how our hormones are changing rapidly, too, in this culture, and especially in the Western world.
Absolutely.
And so what would you tell women who are experiencing perimenopause? What are some things that they can use to manage their diet, their lifestyle, their working out, all that stuff?
Yes. And the great thing is we can actually manage the symptoms pretty easily, especially for women. There's better stuff out there for us than there are for men naturally, to be honest. So like with women, number one, get you some black cohosh, or make sure you get it in a great blend. There's a couple of companies that have great ones, but they're not paying you, so we not gonna, they're not giving you a check. So
Yeah.
but they need to give you a check. We'll talk about that. But that have great blends. Black cohosh will bring those night sweats down, the hot flashes down. It's great for naturally decreasing estrogen. Okay, then you have your wild yam, which is great for increasing progesterone. Because all of these symptoms are because there's an imbalance. So you're naturally losing the estrogen because the body is like, okay, well, we don't need to have kids. I don't need all these eggs. What are we doing with all this estrogen, right?
Yeah.
So it's lowering, but a lot of times the progesterone is lowering too. That's what's making you feel the fatigue. A lot of time, that's what's causing the issues with the bones, with the joints. What they're saying is that's part of the reason that a lot of us are getting fibroids still as the estrogen is lowering, or the progesterone is lowering too. So in addition to those type of things, those herbs and things, you also want to look at watching the fatty foods you're eating. You shouldn't be eating any processed food if you're
Yeah.
going through perimenopause.
Yeah.
Or if you've ever had hormone changes. Y'all, we can't do it. The bodies have enough going on. The body is trying to deal with this crisis of hormonal management. Don't add to it another level of, okay, now we have to figure out what to do with all this processed crap. Try to limit your alcohol.
That's been a game changer for me, Doc.
Yes.
That's been a game changer. Like you want that gut to go down. You want that stomach to go down. You want that bloating to go down. Get off that alcohol.
And you know it's so funny? Like, and I noticed this with a lot of my clients, whether it be fitness, nutrition, they will do anything in the world. They will fast. They will do a water fast before they would give up that alcohol.
Give up the alcohol.
And it's like, guys, but you have to understand anything that has to be that much in your life and you can't give up, that's an addiction.
Yeah.
So that's something we need to look at, managing too.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say with the foods, you want to increase, like, of course, your fruits and vegetables, especially your leafy cruciferous vegetables. So, but with a lot of people, you need to start steaming them. So you know how they want to tell us eat everything raw?
Doc.
Yeah.
I used to be, I was vegan for 5 years. I did a lot of raw, a lot of all of that, girl, skinny, skinty, baby. What fat? Let me say this though. Over this last year, what I realized is I can't eat salads the way I used to eat salads, right? In the sense of like kale. Kale has to be sauteed now. Kale salad, baby, I can't do no kale salad.
Yes.
Stomach jacked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or the kale. Can you do it when you can massage it with the oils and stuff?
I can, but I would just, at this point, I would just rather not because it just makes my stomach bloat so much now. Where I used to be like tearing down a kale salad.
Yeah.
Now, you got to saute. Give me something. Yeah.
And get this, what if you knew that many of the raw vegetables also help to increase certain hormones in your body. So you do have to be careful with that too. So
For instance, what?
For instance,
yeah.
Okay, so do you know like eating a lot of spinach and stuff?
Oh, that's estrogen.
Yeah.
High estrogen food.
But think about it. What do they tell people if somebody try to lose weight? We tell them to have them the green smoothie with all this
Get you some spinach. Get you some spinach with your fish. Get you some spinach, spinach salad. Get you.
Absolutely.
And it's a high. And then I learned cucumbers are a high estrogen food.
You can balance that though. So like say if you want to eat a cucumber, that's the same thing even with kale. You want to balance the cucumber with like a fat. So like when I eat cucumbers, usually I'll do avocado with cucumbers.
Okay.
So a lot of natural foods can be just fine if they're balanced with another macronutrient. And a lot of that stuff now is you can even Google it or chat GPT it to know, okay, I'm having these type of experiences with my gut. How should I maybe balance my food? And it'll actually tell you what to do for you. You know, back in the day, we had to sit there and figure it all out with charts, but it's pretty easy to figure out now.
I mean, I think there's so many things. We are so inundated with so much information, right? And especially if your algorithm is like mine at 42, going to be 43 years old. Yeah. At the time when this airs, I will be 43. So y'all can actually start calling me that on the internet because of Google. I'm always a year older. But anywho, One of the things that if we look at our algorithm, we're inundated with the information of perimenopause. Every time we open the phone, oh, perimenopause, menopause. Do your workouts, make sure you strength train, get you a weighted vest. Like, I be walking around the park, Doc, with my weighted vest. I'm like, oh, hey, 40 plus. As soon as I see another woman in a weighted vest, I'm like, 40 plus, come on. War, not perimenopause, So I feel like it's just so much stuff. It's like, okay, women are like, it's one more thing. Okay, now you're going to tell me I can't eat spinach? Okay, now I got to go. What else I got to do, right? I got to, so we're inundated with so much information. If there are some basics, because even you've talked about functionality over 40 is really going to come down to that strength training.
It absolutely is. And I would even say with the food, find 5 to 8 foods that you love, that you don't have a gut issue with, and interchange those, like, from week to week. So your life doesn't become inundated and just overwhelmed, because there is way too much information. But you got to remember, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Right? I do love the weighted vest. I'm not mad at them. But I also love training the entire body. So in this society, we have got to get away with there's a quick fix for anything.
Yeah.
So the weighted vest is just to put more weight on the body. It helps, of course, with overall strength training benefits, like if you were picking up dumbbells and stuff. It's still along the same principle. It just makes it easier, right? You put that vest on, do your walk. You've made some type of progress. But when it comes to functional training, that's the true type of training for longevity, because now you're working the entire body. You're loosening up and you're lubricating the joints. You're increasing your agility. If you think about it, look at many older, like, Asian people in their 80s and things, 80s and 90s doing Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
They can squat down on the floor.
Yeah.
No problem. Bend all the way down, touch your toes.
Yeah.
No issues.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of their movements, and especially in Tai Chi, involve the full body. They even incorporate, like, the joints in the fingers and the the feet and the fingers, which I want to get to as well. But even like kettlebell training or regular functional training, it's okay to do machines, but don't get stuck on, okay, it's back day, let me do 4 machines. It's leg day, let me do 4 machines. What about connecting everything? So your body should work in 3 planes. Okay, so you're going to have that frontal, you're going to have that transverse, which is more the diagonal, the rotational, and then you're going to have that the sagittal plane, right? So it's like here, and then across. Most of our exercises don't combine those. You do one at a time. So you do the cable pullovers, right? There's one. You do lunges. But what about doing something where they all move together? So that's why I love that, like, Turkish get up. Because, baby, you doing all of it.
The link is going to be to Dr. B's Instagram. It's going to be in the show notes. And y'all got to see Dr. B. She does the Turkish get up. What's it called?
Turkish get up.
With a kettlebell. Mm-hmm. That one arm with the kettlebell gets her ass off the ground from the bottom. Listen, and I'm like, oh, I need to be doing that, because but it's functional, right? Because what we think about when people are so afraid of, I don't want to train weights and I don't want to get bulky. I can't even believe women are still saying that in 2025. I don't want to do that. Yeah. But when we think about the functionality, you're going to have to know how to squat. You're going to know how to, if you want to carry your groceries in the house, you're going to want to have some bicep strength.
Absolutely. You want to be able to put the things in your cabinet without throwing out your back.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. Oh, girl, I was leaning over, threw out my back. That's not natural, y'all.
It's not.
You're 42. Why you throwing out your back, leaning over to pet your cat?
Yeah.
So it's just because our bodies don't have to move that way normally. Because we're in the car, we're working.
We're very sedentary.
Very sedentary, and even when we move, it's very linearly. What's that, linearly?
I'm gonna just go with whatever you say.
Sound good to you? Sound good. Okay.
Yeah, whatever you say.
But we changed so much of how we look at life. Like I think modern technology, which I'm a huge fan of, has taken us so far away from our foundation. We forget it's created from the foundation. Don't throw out the baby with the baby water. Put them together. That's what makes us these complete human beings who then still have enough conscience to understand we went too far with that technology over here. Yeah. Let me go ahead and bring it back so I get rebalanced again. But when we always try to separate ourselves from old, That's another thing that I use when I'm talking about aging is being old. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're blessed, you get to be old.
Yeah. I mean, my dad always says the goal is to get old.
Absolutely.
That's the goal. The
So
goal.
we're still here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you're not,
I mean, there are some exercises that you do that you incorporate very regularly into your routine. What are some of those exercises for some of those women who are watching right now?
Yes, I actually do a protocol now. It's called Simple and Sinister, right? And it's from the
Simple and Sinister?
Simple and Sinister.
Okay.
It's not my name.
Where are we going with this?
Well, you can start with the simple, and it works its way up to the sinister.
Okay.
But it's part of a protocol that's actually put out by the creator of the whole kettlebell. So the kettlebell training is an extensive system of training, like teaching you. It starts with the simple prime squat, like those deep squats where your butt's all the way to the floor. You're seeing that all over TikTok and IG now. Everybody's doing functional training with the squat. It's like, okay, y'all don't even know what the next move is. but bless their hearts. At least they're causing people to think differently. But I always do that. So I have to do 100 single-arm kettlebell swings. So between both arms, 100. And then I do 10 Turkish get-ups, 5 on each side. So each week I try to go up in my weight. So now I'm at a 35. So that's with the hardest part is getting your body off the floor with 35 pounds.
You're doing a single arm kettlebell swing with a 35-pound kettlebell.
Oh, no, those are 45. The Turkish get-up is 35.
Duh. Weak ass.
Come on, Brandi, look.
Weak ass. What you do? Yeah, that's 45.
But I had to work up to that. I started with a 20.
So single arms, you're doing with a 45 kettlebell, 45-pound kettlebell.
But I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah.
So what I tell people, go on, if you want to YouTube it, that's fine. But find a real kettlebell expert, not just your favorite, fitness trendy baddie. No, find out somebody who really has a certification and just watch their shorts and stuff. How to properly do a kettlebell swing. Because I would never just lift a kettlebell. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Would tear all this up, right?
Yeah.
It's a swing to it, which I can eventually go much heavier than that.
I mean, Doc, I do kettlebell swings, the 2-arm, with between your leg things with a 45-pound. 2 arms. 2.
Really?
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you know what? I bet you anything, slight tweak, you can do 60 tomorrow. Very slight tweak. Because if you could do 45, you could do 60.
I don't want to.
Well, see, that part, right?
I don't want to do that. Okay, sounds good.
Well, she's like, why?
So kettlebell is in your weekly routine.
Absolutely.
So,
I do that 3 times a week.
So that's a simple at-home practice.
Oh, yeah.
So this is not, you don't need a gym membership for this. You don't need to pay a trainer for this.
Absolutely not.
These are things that you can learn, that you can incorporate with a simple kettlebell in your home.
Yes, and because I do that 3 times a week at the top of the workout. Then I do the workout. So that's just the beginning.
That's
part.
the warm-up, guys.
Yeah, that was
the warm-up. You don't get this fine just doing a kettlebell swing, okay? There's other stuff that goes along with it.
But it really primes the body. So then I'll probably do a 30-minute functional workout. I usually grab one from YouTube. Sometimes I'll do my own things, but they have great teachers on there. So why reinvent the wheel? Go on. Eventually, Dr. Bia, I have her own program. But for right now, just go on there, grab a reputable instructor, do a 30-minute beginner workout.
Yeah.
The functional training will change your life. And if you only have dumbbells, do a functional regular workout. That's fine too. But everyone should be doing functional training at least once or twice a week as your strength training.
All right, so functional training at least 2 days a week. But to look like this at 50 years old, that's not 2 days a week. That's a everyday commitment.
I work out 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I have most of my life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even when I was dancing, I didn't get heavy into strength training until I was about maybe 25. And that's when I first got certified. But then ever since, I love my strength training.
Yeah. I tell people this all the time. I tell my little cousin this, and this is for you, Lexi, right now. This is a message for you. So clock it. I tell her all the time, the habits that you create now in your 20s are going to set you up for what 40 looks like.
Absolutely.
And for you to say 25 years ago, you were committed to strength training.
Oh, yeah.
When I look back, 20 years ago, I was committed to strength training. You know, we both were fitness competitors. Like you went the distance though, you know,
Well,
like
you have
I
to.
mean, I've gotten up there. I got a trophy, but you know, like you like extra, you know, she'd have been on magazine covers and all the things. But it is part of that is what you're doing now is going to set you up. It's the same thing. So if you're in your 40s right now and you've never worked out and you're like, I got to see some different results in my life, these are the moments that are going to set you up for what 60, you know, your 50s and 60s look like.
Absolutely. And I would even dare to say now, if you don't start incorporating a different way of moving, a different way of eating now, you may not make it to your 60s.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about it, you know, because chronic diseases are popping up on people sooner and sooner or earlier and earlier. And those chronic diseases are taking people out.
Yeah.
So change it today just so you can see 60, not just be fine in 60, but so you can see it and just have a great overall quality of life and not live in pain. Like, I was telling somebody the other day because they were like, "Oh, you look great for 50." I was like, "You guys, thank you. That's great. You know, we got good genetics. I take care of myself. Thank you. Some days I'm cuter than others, and that's fine."
Yeah.
You know? But what's more important to me is that I move well and I don't wake up every day in pain as I get older. Because those are the years. These are critical. We know how our peers are. They hurting.
Yeah.
They walking around, back surgeries, hip pains, knee replacements.
Talking about knees at 40, like, oh, girl, my knees can't do that. And you're like, what do your knees do?
Right.
Yeah.
Their knees are not doing anything. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And the thing is putting too much of a load with regular strength training on weak knees is not the answer. I'm not saying don't squat heavy, but if you already have weak knees, why don't you learn how to properly do a squat below 90 degrees first, which actually increases the range of motion, lubricates that joint, and really see where you are before now we're trying to go for 300 because we saw it online.
Yeah. I mean, because I think that's a real point, because as somebody who's been weight training for 20 years, you know, there are some days in the gym that I'm gonna go heavy, right?
Absolutely,
But then there are other days I'm like, why would we do that today? Like, you know, like I'm so focused on the form, right? I want the form to be correct. And there are some days where you can lift heavier. And then, you know, we are like the moon. So we have cycles. So it's like in those, over the course of the month, there's some days call me She-Ra.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other days, baby, I'm Tinkerbell. Like, I can't do that. I can't even, what is that? You know?
No, you're so right. And I love that you bring up like the cycles, because think about if women have always, you know, had cycles, you know, from teen years, when it comes time for that cycle to start stopping and you have these hormonal changes, it gets even worse. So you have to really understand, when am I lifting heavy? When am I doing cardio? When am I doing a HIIT versus just slow duration? When am I just walking outside or laying down in the ground and experiencing sunshine?
Yeah.
You have to understand that too for your hormonal changes, because what'll happen is if you're going through those hormonal changes and you push yourself too hard, you inflame the body. So now we're dealing with this increase in inflammation because we've done too much, not realizing one of those critical hormones needed wasn't present in enough amount for us to do this. So that's really just, like you said, some days you feel it.
Yeah.
You knew that wasn't the day to do that.
Yeah. But I think
Listen.
that it's the listening to your body, right? And I think that we have been so conditioned to listen to everything else, all the outside noise, all the outside voices.
Yeah.
But our bodies have these alarm systems already built in. Baby, it's the ADT system already here. It's letting you know, okay, wait a minute. I need to, that's not normal. That's not good.
Absolutely.
And I've had to learn that too. Like, even, you know, during my cycle, it's like, I cannot lift super heavy. Like, those are the days I want to just walk. I want to do a lightweight, you know, maybe, you know, some you know, more reps, but lighter weight.
Or yoga.
Or some stretching. Absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
Absolutely. You listen to your body. And, you know, I'm glad you brought that up as far as like the alarms going off and people not listening, because painkillers, many prescriptions, they turn off the alarm. So if your body can't hear an alarm, your body doesn't necessarily know it's still in that critical state. So if you're highly inflamed and you take an anti-inflammatory, you feel good, right? So you may still go ahead and do that action that your body was telling you you don't need to do because you feel good because it turned off the pain receptors.
Yeah.
So we got to be real careful with that too. I'm not saying don't ever take pain meds, but understand where the pain's coming from first.
Oh, yeah.
Because, people popping pills, child, like they Skittles.
I mean, I literally, sometimes with my mom, I'm like, Mom, how are you, Benadryl? Like, how are you not out of your mind with Benadryl? She's like, oh, I had an allergic. I took a Benadryl. Benadryl, you were alert? I take a Benadryl, doc, I'm down for 2 days. It's like I took a tranquilizer. Like, a Benadryl? My mom be like, yeah, I took a Benadryl last night. You up? How did you get up?
She's developed a tolerance for
But it's that tolerance. It's like, Advil, all the things. And I think that we're so good with masking and putting on top of and not like, let me figure out what's really going on in my body.
Absolutely. Well, we're not taught that we're supposed to actually go through periods of pain. Like even, mental pain, struggle. We're taught, okay, it's not supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
No, actually, life is a series of ebbs and flows,
Yeah.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't think, and I'm not just talking about youth, not at all. I mean, all of us in this stage that we're in, I think we forgot that all of us have gone through some type of struggle to get to the other side. And it's many of the lessons that you learn to even become the person that you are happen during those moments. So if you're numbing yourself, if you're over-medicating yourself during a period of learning and regrowth, well, did you learn your lesson? And we wonder why we keep having to go through it again.
I wanna now transition this because you talk about learning these lessons during these hard, pivotal moments. When I was prepping for you, Doc, your resume says you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
Highest peak in Africa.
Yes.
And I was like, I texted you last night. I said, Doc, you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro? I'm in the back seat of my sister's car with BJ, and he was like, "What's Mount Kilimanjaro?" He was like, "That's not the highest Mount Everest." I said, "Africa, friend." So Dom's like,
BJ, give me some support, BJ. Come on.
That's not the highest. That's Mount Everest. But I was telling you before when we got started, I was like, I've never met a black person and not a black woman who is climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, I know it's going to be some of you ninjas, they jump in the comments and say, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro yesterday, Brandi.
Absolutely.
We know you did, girl. I know it's going to be somebody. But I have not ever met a black woman that has hiked and summited. You summited.
Oh, absolutely.
You went all the way to the top.
Absolutely. Well, first I want to say I'm one of those people where you can't tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
Right? My bless my mom and dad's heart, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that because I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But I was asked by there's a nonprofit. It's all over the country, but it was actually had headquarters in Oklahoma, believe it or not. And it was called Pros for Africa. So that has quite a few NBA, NFL players, and they have orphanages, do all kind of humanitarian things, on the continent. And so they said, well, we're going to do Kilimanjaro. And they were like, would you come on board and kind of be the wellness person that makes sure people train properly, get their cardiovascular endurance where it needs to be for this 19,000 plus feet. So we went. We get there. Well, the first we did a mission to do hearing aids for people in one of the villages. Absolutely incredible. Then the next day we start climbing. Well, out of the 10 people, maybe 5 had to come back down. So one was having heart palpitations, so of course they couldn't. One, it was actually an NFL player. So people are thinking, oh, he won't have any problems. Like big buff dude, whole body cramped. They couldn't get enough electrolytes in him because you don't want to be too large or too muscular climbing. I was actually one of the better sizes, being just, smaller. And the other gentlemen who summited were smaller too. And one of them was an avid mountain climber. So it took us about maybe 2.5 days.
So it's harder if you bigger.
It's much harder. If you have all that muscle, you're not making it.
Okay.
Yeah, po baby.
Some of y'all can't do 30 minutes of cardio every day. And y'all, okay, this ain't for you. It's not your conversation. Go ahead, Doc.
But we can work towards it. We can work towards it.
Amen. She believes in you. Dr. B believes in you.
I do. I believe in all of you guys. But I know y'all not coming with me on that mountain. But about 2.5 days, the last 6 hours was the hardest because you basically spend the night at the base of the camp of the last peak, and you start going up maybe about like midnight. And so they do that on purpose. They do that so number one, you can see the sunrise because it takes about that much time, and then number two, so you don't see how treacherous the last part. So the first part, is wide and expansive, these beautiful mountains and, you singing,
Yeah.
everybody kumbaya,
Yeah.
and, all of that. You get to that last part, it was about 2 degrees. So I had on probably 7 layers. Snot coming out my nose because I was crying. The guys were crying too. We're like, everybody's crying because you're so cold. You're so tired. Your body is completely breaking down on you, but you have to keep going. So we stopped and prayed probably like every 10 minutes, like that last part. Like literally the porters are like trying to pick you up, carry you. And it was such a testament to I can do anything through God who strengthens me. I don't think I have ever felt so close to God in my entire life, because if I ever had a doubt that I can make it through anything, it was that point. And when we got up to where the sun started rising, and on one side you have the volcano, one side you have the glacier, and then you just have God's sunshine, we just fell to our knees just in tears. 'Cause
Wow.
I don't care who was around. I
Wow.
was like, y'all do not understand. This is us vibing with the one and only creator. If you had doubts that he was here before,
Yeah. Yeah.
him, shim,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
But the presence, it was so life-changing, because even in those moments where I doubt myself, because we all have them. Of course, we all have them. I just remember I was created for something so much greater, because I come from a God who has created
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And he loves us,
Yeah.
right? So if he
Yeah.
loves us and we're his favorite, how in the world can we not accomplish more than just this everyday life that we've pretty much determined is going to be our existence? So it helps me get out of that rut and things. But to this day, I mean, I still get like chills.
I mean, I was getting chills as you were telling the story. And
It's
I
amazing.
think because whatever you are seeking to do in your life, right, you've been wired to do hard things. And I think that
Yes.
whether you're on your health journey of trying to
Mhm.
reclaim your health, recommit to your health, whatever part you are, or if you're trying to summit to the highest peak in your life, right?
Yes.
I'm wired to do hard things. I can do hard things. And I
Mhm.
think that you are a testament to that. And I think for every woman who is listening, to see how you're able to do it, right?
Mhm.
You're giving people the how to. You
They're
know,
gonna be like, climb mountain number 3. No.
for sure, right?
Metaphorically,
But
yeah.
whatever mountain that is in your life. Because some
Absolutely.
people are being met right now with the mountain of their health, right? Chronic
Absolutely.
disease is the mountain in their life. And
Absolutely.
so there are going to be moments where every 10 minutes you're going to have to stop and pray. There are going to be, this is
Absolutely.
the hardest part to get to the summit, but you're going to have to do it in order to get there.
You just gave me an idea for a new book.
Come on.
Like, where my notes
Clock
at?
it.
I love it, but I love that you said we are hardwired to do hard things, because we have forgotten that as a people in westernized society, because comfort comes to us so easily. Everything is convenience. Everything. Like, people don't even know how to do basic things. People don't even know how to write a check. They don't know how to write out a regular check anymore. They're like,
No.
how do you? I'm like, God, these are
No.
basic things that we have to understand. It's okay to do, but even more so, you can do things that are beyond your comprehension. But I think faith is lacking too, because most people's definition of faith is not what it used to be then. Because I think for a lot of people, that foundation is shaky, because there is so much information. Like, I almost feel like even though information has been a blessing, it's also been
Yeah,
a curse
for sure.
for humanity.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you. We are hardwired to do difficult things.
I mean, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, like I literally was like, that was so fascinating to me, because the highest hike that I've done in my life was the Path of the Gods in the Amalfi Coast. That was my like highest,
I want to do that.
And that was good. That was like, and that
Yeah.
was 3 hours.
Yes.
That took 3 hours. And I was looking around like, when we got to the halfway point, I was like, oh, taking pictures, looking okay. She was like, we're halfway there. Halfway? What do you mean? How long? I should have packed a bag.
Right.
I'm not
Some
prepared.
snacks.
Yeah, some snacks. But to do 2 days, multiple days, and summiting to the top of this mountain, I think that just speaks to all the other things that you've done in your life, whether that's been climbing a mountain, whether that's fitness competitions, whether that's writing books, creating new nutrition programs for people all around the world. I mean, you work with my dad. That's already hard. He's a piece of work.
We're like, okay, Mr. Harvey, you should do such and such. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
I was like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. Yeah. I'm not eating that.
The fact that you've been my dad's nutritionist, I mean, you're doing the work of the Lord. Come on, where's your cape?
It's okay. Look, he knows it.
For years, though, when I met B was doing the meals on Big Time. She was doing the meals for my dad on Big Time.
Oh, that was
Had
funny.
them black containers, and he was complaining the whole time back there. And she was like, come on, I got your food. And he's like, I don't want that shit. Order me
Or
some.
better yet, because I'm not like a chef. Like
Yeah.
I can cook. We were doing by eating by your blood type. And I didn't know, how his chef, now Chef Gordon, the place, the napkins.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
there's a little girl from Oklahoma. So I
She
come
had
out there
them
putting it there with some paper napkins.
Black contaner.
Oh, he was done with
He
me.
was like, what kind of country shit is
What?
this?
Exactly. What kind of presentation is this? They helped me out. They helped me figure out how to present. But yeah, it's been a blessing, of course.
I mean, yeah, so you're doing the work of the Lord because you work with my dad. So that already is like blessings to you. You have a white hat. In the words of Scandal, Olivia Pope, you have a white hat. Okay? Yeah. I mean, it's got to be challenging when you're working with very high-powered individuals because they have their own way of doing things. They're very set in their ways. How have you been able to kind of work through that and get people to really see the benefits of them making these changes in their health?
Well, one thing that I would have to say, because, in addition to your father, I've worked with, a lot lot of celebrities.
Vivica Fox, baby, Carrie Underwood, Carrie Washington, baby, all the Carries, baby. If they find Dr. B done touched them, listen.
Thank you for that. But what's interesting is, and this is one thing that was always kind of a hard thing for me. It was like my two sides of my nature. So working with celebrities and high-powered individuals, they usually are motivated in some way to be healthy, because they've had a taste of this amazing life. They lead these crazy schedules. You couldn't do all the stuff you did if you didn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have the energy.
Yeah.
You couldn't show up on camera looking like this.
Yeah.
You're not going to show up looking wrong.
Yeah.
So you're going to put in the time. In addition to the mindset behind it, it's also that pressure to be in public, right? So that's a great motivator,
Yeah.
right? It does.
Yeah.
It does. Even with
Yeah.
your father being older, your dad liked to look good. So that helps.
I mean, rolling into 70, I am like, he's such an inspiration.
Yeah, he truly is. And he puts in the work.
He puts in the work.
And so do most of the other high-powered people that I work with. What I found out is the hardest group of people to really motivate are those who don't feel that hopeful about tomorrow anyway. So that average everyday person who already feels just drugged down by life, the one who doesn't have access to the incredible team of doctors and nutritionists and trainers and personal chefs. And it was so crazy. I never tell this story, but it's okay for me to tell it. But when I was working with Carrie Underwood, and I used to be her chef and her trainer, and they had called me back out on the road. And I was torn between this decision because while we were off the road, I had started my Sporty Girl Fitness Boot Camp, working with just everyday women and just increasing their self-esteem, getting them healthy, changing their lifestyle. Loved it because that was the calling. When I asked what I had prayed to God in 2007 to just change my life and show me what I was supposed to do, he spoke to me clearly. He said, you're supposed to help every person, not just the rich.
Yeah.
He was very clear in that messaging. And when they called me back out, and I told them, they were very understanding. I said, you guys, I gotta continue to work with community. And my manager was so mad at me because she was like, heifer, do you know how much money we
got to get this check. Yeah.
And I was like, we gonna make the money. We're gonna make the money when you do what you're here to do. So that was we did that, and I stepped away from that. But and even though I still work with the high powered, I try to balance it always with community, because they don't have the help. Y'all, many just everyday people are dealing with horrible health crisis, even when they're going to their doctors.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's making it worse.
I mean, I see your Instagram. You have the group of women that you all work out together. You've been doing the yoga, the stretching. You've been doing functional training workouts with them.
Yes.
And you said that's the thing that really lights you up, because these are the women that just want to feel like the powerhouse in their own life because they felt so powerless in so many moments.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And also, many of them want to live another 5 to 10 years. Like, that's how bad it is for many. Like, almost every person I work with on a community level, regardless of the state, is on high blood pressure medications if they're over 40. They're on some type of statin for cholesterol. They're on some type of prescription where the doctor doesn't even remember what their dosage is any longer. They've been on so long, and they have not brought them down for them. So it's almost as if I'm helping to, I hate to use the words fighting something, because when you're fighting something, that indicates that you're not going to win. So I hate to say fighting, but we're managing and we're helping to support groups of everyday people in understanding how to take their power back, because that's what's gone. The celebrities, high power, you know you got power. You know if this doctor says something crazy, you can go over
I'm
there.
going to go get
Because that's your
Yeah.
mindset. You're used
Yeah.
to winning. So imagine that everyday person that's not used to winning. And I'm not saying that they can't win. I'm just saying through mindset,
They're not used to it.
they're not
Yeah.
used to it, to where they feel maybe I wasn't meant to win. That same person, when they go to the doctor, they don't ask questions. They keep taking more and more prescriptions, don't even ask what it's for. I tell people, you went and just got a $300 prescription and you don't know what it's for.
Crazy.
They're like, no. I said, why don't you chat GPT it? Oh, I never thought about that. And they're serious.
I mean, the technology that is available to us, so many of us are afraid of it, right? Because even in our community, we've had Alicia Little, who came on the show. She's the queen of AI. She talked about, using AI for your benefit, right? And even using it like to show, hey, Chad, I have these ingredients in my refrigerator. I have these spices in my cabinet. Help me put together a healthy meal. She's even done it with like, hey, I have these ingredients. Create me a smoothie recipe, right?
Yes.
So there are ways that we can use this to our benefit and not our detriment, but we got to get over the fear of it, right?
Yes.
Because we're walking in and allowing the doctor, the white coat, to tell us things about ourselves in 15 minutes during that checkup, during that
Right.
visit.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. And we're taking that as face value, and now we're just going, let me go pop this because the doctor told me to. And we're not
Yes.
doing our own research. We're not taking, accountability and saying, wait a minute, what part do I play in this?
Absolutely. And then what gets me is just utilizing basic logic. If you're on a medication for 10 years, yet your numbers on your blood work are getting worse, doesn't that show you the medicine isn't working?
Yeah.
That should be the first question you ask the doctor is, well, if this is not working, why don't we try something else? But like you said, there's a fear. There's a fear, and there's also a brainwashing. It's a brainwashing around the medical system, because people do believe that doctors are like gods, like MDs are like gods.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Even some of y'all on the internet right now who be like, what kind of doctor is she? How she gonna tell me? Y'all gonna do it. And y'all 05 slow.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what I tell
You
people
don't know
all
the
the
difference
time?
between I before E and E before I. You don't know which there to use. And yet.
But you know what I honestly tell people? I'm like, don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I want to empower someone to empower themselves. Like I was, when we were talking, we were doing some panel. It was actually with Dr. J and, Dr. Joel and all that stuff. Dr. Joel and all those. And we were actually talking about people reclaiming their power. Is stop giving away the essence of who you are to somebody because they have letters behind their name. Even me. Don't give away your power, because my job is to take care of me and to be your teacher, which means your job should be to make your health your priority
Yeah.
and to receive guidance in that journey. But that's not my job. I don't show up every morning wondering, how can I keep these people healthy? I want to do that, and what I do is what I was put here to do, but that's not my full purpose. Is not you as an individual, your health. Your health is your responsibility. My responsibility is to help you and give you the tools to help yourself. Because I used to be confused about that when I was younger. I got to save the world because I'm a Cancer, right? We just feel like we got to save it.
All emo and stuff.
All emo, all
Yeah.
way too sensitive.
Yeah.
But I had to learn the best thing you can do for people is give them tools and then allow them to help themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because if you don't want to help yourself, okay,
Yeah.
I can help you.
If you were going to give your top 3 essentials on how to help yourself, what would those top 3 be?
First essential to help yourself is stop allowing people to put you into a box. No kind of box. It shouldn't be a box when it comes to what you can accomplish as a person of color or not, or as a woman, as a man, whatever religion. No boxes, okay? We all get this clean slate. You create the life that you want. So number 1, don't get put into a box because that includes your medical history. My genetics say that I'm supposed to have high blood pressure. The doctor said it's genetic.
Yeah.
As you eating a bucket of church's chicken.
Yeah.
Okay? First.
And we learned that only 1% of disease is passed through genetics.
Absolutely.
1%. The rest is lifestyle choices.
Yes. And you, of course, you have one of my faves on here, Gary, and, talking about epigenetics. And the thing is, genetics are there to show you what the propensity could be, right? That's what's in your family line. Epigenetics is the lifestyle and the choices to change that. So it's not a death sentence because everybody in your family could have high blood pressure. You don't have to. You do not have to. But that would be the number 1 essential.
Number 1, no boxes.
No boxes. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Even your medical history, no boxes.
And like Brandi says, no clock. Throw the clock out.
Throw the clock away. Throw the clock away.
Number 2 would be in trust in your own self. That's not just mental. That's also as far as the physical body, like we were discussing, listening to your body. Trust that. If you feel something's off, seek help. Don't wait or don't self-medicate so it's no longer feels off. It's still off. Listen to your body. That's the second essential. And then the third essential would be relax a little. And the reason why I say relax a little bit is we allow this influx of information to not be there necessarily as tools to enhance our lives, but we allow it to overwhelm us to a point where it causes additional stress.
Yeah.
But that one said this, that one said this, that's what they say. Relax a little bit, breathe. There's some basics that are going to keep you healthy overall. And the rest is just icing on the cake. So those would be my 3 essentials.
How important is sleep?
Sleep is everything. I put sleep, number 1. I put sleep before nutrition.
Sleep before nutrition.
And you know why? Is because the activity that happens in the brain, the healing that's involved with the body actually lends towards whether or not you're going to have certain chronic diseases almost as much as the food does. So if you're not allowing your body to have quality sleep, that's that REM, that's that rapid eye movement sleep where you like completely knocked out. You're constantly in a state of alarm, like you said, constantly. You're never resting. You cannot out-work out or out-diet a state of being in a constant stress.
Yeah.
So I would put sleep as one of the, if not the very top, right there with nutrition. But for many, I'd say the top.
The top is sleep.
Yeah, because that's the one thing people are not focusing enough on.
8 hours a night.
7 to 8, absolutely. If for women going through hormonal changes, sometimes if you need that 9.
They said 10 hours.
Absolutely.
10 hours.
Absolutely. And that's a
I don't
very
know
real deal.
when I've slept for 10 hours, Doc.
And the thing is, because you're your father's child, you probably won't find this.
You know what I have learned though over these probably last 5 years is rest isn't a reward, right?
Yes.
That I can just go to sleep, right? Like I don't have to like earn rest. And I think there's so many, especially Black women, we feel like we have to earn rest. Like, oh, well, I didn't do enough today. I ain't earned no sleep, baby.
Right.
What are we talking about?
But you're right.
Even though my family says I will fall asleep anywhere, like I never ask for permission to go to sleep.
See, that's a good thing because a
Yeah.
lot of people can't sleep,
Yeah.
no matter where they are. But I really think that, like you said, this is very important. The needing permission to do things that are vital to our overall health, we got to get away from that. And even in that whole not getting into a box, included with that is the superwoman syndrome that most black women carry. We were not here to save the whole world.
Yeah.
That's what we do naturally, but to our own detriment. Like we are at the top of these lists when it comes to the percentage of the chronic illness.
Yeah.
But we're also at the top of the list when it's coming to earners, to education. And what's throwing people is normally you don't see it. That's throwing off the norm. Usually as you see education go up, you see health go up, not health decline. Black women, we're one of the anomalies, and that's because of that superwoman syndrome. The harder we work, the less we take care of ourselves. At times, that's not everyone, of course, but that's seen as a trend because we can't fail because we feel like the weight of the world is on
the
our
family, the
shoulders.
community, the church, the sorority, everybody's just waiting on us.
We a role model to everybody.
Yeah, role model to everybody. All right, we got the top 3. We know that rest is going to beat out nutrition. If you had your top 5 foods that you were like, I don't go a week without these top 5, what you doing?
Okay. My friend, number one, let me say, people hate going to eat with me because I actually like clean eating. But I would say for a 7-day week, this is how I have to eat. In the mornings, I have my smoothie. So I do my collagen proteins. I'll do like my wild yam. This is a really good one for women going through hormonal issues. Putting that wild yam in there, putting some cinnamon, putting a little bit of fruit in there, things really balancing out the body, doing the avocado. So that's what I usually break my fast with, my intermittent fast. Then I'm normally going to have some type of ground turkey, some type of chicken, of course, all organic. With vegetables. Then I'm usually going to have either like grass-fed organic beef, or I may do a salad or something for my evening meal, depending on the workout.
So you are not a vegan?
No, I'm not a vegan.
Okay.
No. That's what everybody keeps thinking. I'm like, I tried vegan 1 year in L.A.
Okay.
That's it. No.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
love the lifestyle. I have nothing against it.
You
I'm
eat a
just
lot of
not.
plants, though.
I
You are
do.
very plant heavy, though.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen this lady, y'all. Like, she be carrying her container around. Like, she be doing macros and micros. Like, do not let her fool you. She weighs her shit. Okay,
do.
like this is not Papa Do's. This is not a Papa Do's body.
No.
This is not a Papa Do's body. This is not a Mickey D's body. Okay, this is macros and micros. Okay, this is in the container. Meal prep.
Absolutely. I meal prep on Sundays. I
You
definitely
meal prep.
because it just helps me.
It does.
But I do like to cook when I have time too. So I may meal prep and then cook something else. But I'm always going to have loads of vegetables. So, but I love things like asparagus. I love green beans. I love zucchini and squash. Like I said, I love my yam or my sweet potato. I'm going to do some eggs. Now, I like doing the whole egg. I put that in my smoothie too. I do 2 whole eggs.
Like raw eggs?
Yeah, raw eggs. You can't taste it. What you
Oh, come on, Rocky. She about to go fight. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we tried to have your dad do that. Yeah.
Hell. You put 2 raw eggs in a smoothie and you drink this.
But you don't taste it because you put the other stuff. Raw eggs are so good. The eggs are one of the they're one of the most complete foods on the face of the earth. It's been proven that they do not raise cholesterol levels.
She done lost me. Wrap it up. Cut the show. Cut the show.
Dr. Vito went too far.
Cut the show. Cut the show.
But yes, I do my eggs. But I have 1 meal a week where I do whatever I want.
Okay, so what's your cheat meal, Doc?
Oh, I love a gourmet burger and sweet potato fries. And
Shit.
some type of
This
sundae.
not even, look at Drake over here like, okay, that's a cheat meal. I had that last night. I had that this morning. Dr. B said, I love a good grass-fed, grass-finished burger and sweet potato fries as my cheat meal. Will is over here like, where the cheesecake at? Where the etouffee at? Where is what? Dr. B said, grass-fed, grass-finished burger and sweet potato on a
Brioche bun. No, I'll do a brioche.
Okay, gluten-free. Got it.
That I will do a sweet. I do. So I'll have me a good old sundae from someplace. But if I'm out somewhere, like,
Yeah.
and it's my cheat day, I'll have something there.
But here's what I want people to hear in this conversation. And I joke about this a lot in this conversation, but here's what I know. In order to look the way that you look and feel the way that you feel, it requires simple diet. You're eating a lot of the same foods every day, all day. You're not giving yourself a whole lot of variety. You might switch it up how you do it, but the staples are there for a reason.
Absolutely. And I mean, number one is convenience, of course, but also you have to understand your own gut microbiome and what works for you, especially over 40. So the enzymes that are in our body, they change. They actually lessen. So a lot of foods that we can eat when we were younger, we can't break down.
Yeah.
So that's why we're wondering, why does my stomach hurt when I'm eating something I used to always eat? Well, you can no longer eat that.
Yeah, cabbage.
Yeah. See, and a good functional have you ever done a functional blood test?
I don't think so.
I want you to have your doctor have you do a functional blood test next time.
Okay.
Because it does so many more markers than the others, so it's going to tell you everything.
This is going to be like chronological age versus biological age? Is it that one?
No, it's not that one. This one even goes deeper. So this is telling you all your micronutrients. Like, so it's going to tell you all the minerals in your body. It's going to give the genetic markers to be in there. It's going to also give the basic stuff too. It'll do the allergy testing in there. It'll tell you what's going on with your gut microbiome, what's needed, what you have too much of. So it does all those things in one. And yeah, and I'll send you the name of the company that I use for that.
Yeah.
Love that. But I think it's really important to understand your gut has changed. So the same way you see your body changing, you got to understand the stuff inside has changed too.
Yeah.
Everything, your heart, your lungs. That's why we have to continue to care for those. I think we take for granted that everything is going to stay the same until it's almost time for us to die. No. I wish we were that fortunate. You have to do preventative care to make sure every part of your body stays as healthy as it needs to be up until the time where it's your time to transition.
Yeah.
And that's why I do the functional too, because the whole fascia. So you know about fascia tissue, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so fascia is actually the connective tissue that enwraps the entire body. So think about like an orange. You know how if you peel an orange, there's that white stuff that pretty much is holding it together? Yeah. That's the fascia. So when we get sore, a lot of times what causes horrible sciatic pain, horrible things that feel like an injury, but it's not a broken bone, it's not a ligament, a tendon, it's a problem with the fascia. So as we get older, our fascia actually becomes more dehydrated and tight, which makes us more inflamed, but also makes it to where we can't move as easily because we don't know how to properly care for the fascia.
Yeah.
Functional training cares for the fascia.
Functional training cares for the fascia.
And also stay hydrated, plenty of hydration, limit your caffeine, plenty of the fruits and vegetables. Your
so you don't
fishes.
Drink coffee?
Oh, I certainly do.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Doc, I feel like I've turned, this is how you know you of a certain age. It's like, I gotta have coffee. Like, I used
like
to not, I feel like my mom. Like, my mom has to have coffee. Like, I'm not functioning yet. I haven't had my coffee.
Right, that's right.
And now I feel like I'm not functioning yet. I haven't had my coffee.
But you know what I do, though? Because I know too much caffeine is not good for my gut. I switch it in and out with green tea and B12.
Okay.
So I do a lot of methylated B12. I even have it in the drops in my purse. So I don't need the energy from the coffee as much.
Yeah.
Because that's only one type of caffeine. If you do that too much, you're going to build a tolerance, but also you're going to increase the acid within your gut.
So what I have started doing, like I used to drink coffee like on my way to the gym.
Yeah.
I don't. I drink my water in the morning. I mind my business. I get to the gym and I get coffee after the gym. So I've been up for a while. Like, you see how I balanced that in my mind? I don't know what reasoning I gave myself. I think I saw some Mel Robbins say some shit. I was like, oh, yeah, let me do that.
Well, you know, I love some Mel, so it works for me. Hey, Mel, does it work?
So
Let's do it.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's, maybe I need to just like kind of hold off.
But I do love it. You start your day with the water.
I
That's
do.
essential. You got to have your water with your lemon. Let's throw your lemon in there.
I start off with my water. I haven't, like, sometimes I do, like, when I'm like on it, Doc.
Yeah.
I'm doing my hot water in the morning with my lemon, a little ginger in there. Like, oh, I feel it myself,
I love
and then
that.
I just go back to being a regular. All right, so Dr. B, we got a new segment on here called Truth or Myth.
Okay.
Truth or Myth. And you can go into detail as much as you want with these. Wellness is only about what you eat and how much you work out. Truth or myth?
Myth. Wellness is about taking care of the entire being, and that includes mind, body, and spirit, which includes the mental. So that's mental and spiritual, the entire vessel inside and out, and also like what we eat. So no. Wellness is the entire holistic view of the human being.
Holistic view. Wellness is the entire holistic view. Truth or myth? Stress can be just as harmful as poor nutrition. Truth or myth?
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. Yes. One of the primary reasons why chronic disease becomes so detrimental for people is the stress component in addition to the chronic disease. And also the chronic disease helps you to develop, the stress helps you to develop the chronic disease diagnosis to begin with. And then being stressed about that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Stress is a killer.
Stress is definitely a killer.
Yeah.
And we wonder, people always say, okay, if you're African American, you're probably going to have high blood pressure. Well, why is that? Because we stressed.
I tell people, if you are Black in America, you should put on your resume that you function well in high stress environments. You're great with crisis management. You are a negotiator. All of these should be characteristics that every Black person just has. Because we're negotiating for our health, we're negotiating for our lives, we're negotiating with the police, we're negotiating with school counselors. We're constantly in negotiations, right? Mm-hmm. Crisis management, talking people off ledges all the time, talking yourself off the ledge. Let me not do that. I don't want to go to jail today. I will be in there all weekend. It's a holiday. It's like all the things. All right, so truth or myth? Truth or myth? If you look fit on the outside, you must be healthy on the inside. Truth or myth?
Myth.
Yeah.
Huge myth. There are so many people walking around with 8-packs, 6-packs, 2% body fat, ready to drop dead tomorrow. We have lost so many bodybuilders, male and female, recently.
Yeah.
And they're
shredded.
the top in the world.
Yeah.
Literally. So no. Physically, because a lot of people aesthetically are in great shape too. That doesn't mean they eat healthy or they're actually taking care of their minds as well as what they're putting into their bodies. So that's a huge myth. But unfortunately, a lot of people use it to exploit people and to get their money.
Yeah. Exploit people to get their money. That's a truth. All right. Truth or myth? Black women carry the weight of wellness for their entire families. Truth or myth?
I would say truth. Because and of course there's always an exception, right? So anyone out there, we know there's an exception. But for the majority of the families, even if there's another provider in the household, that woman is going to be the one who does the grocery shopping, who does the cooking, or who makes arrangements for those types of things, who gets the kids to some type of activity to work out, who takes herself to the gym, or who encourages her husband or something. It's usually going to be the woman. So it's not even just wellness that African American women have to take the weight of. It's even making sure the finances are managed and all those things. So I would say that's the truth, of course, but I think it's something that has to be worked on a lot more as a system to help take some of that weight off of her, just herself, because she needs help with that too. That's what a lot of the numbers are saying, is that caregiver needs help with her wellness.
Yeah. Dr. Ayanna Abrams said on the show, the individual labor, that the labor we don't see that so many women carry, especially in family and in partnership and relationship. Truth or myth? Fasting is just a diet trend. Truth or myth?
It's a myth. Fasting has been around for thousands of years. Now, the way it's popping up a lot on social media can sometimes be trendy. The whole idea of intermittent fasting wasn't always called intermittent fasting. It's just that there were different windows in which you fast based off of your goals for fasting. If you're doing a spiritual fast, that's much different than if you're doing a medical fast, or if you're doing a fast just to kind of determine, okay, what am I allergic to? So there's different reasons for the fasting, but it's been around for thousands of years, used by indigenous people way back in the day.
Jesus.
Hello.
If y'all read the Bible, some of y'all don't read it, but in there, 40 days.
Look, and a lot of the other
40.
prophets, girl,
Yeah,
they
they
all
was in there
fasted.
fasting.
Yes.
All right. Truth or myth? You have to suffer to see results. Truth or myth?
I am going to say
Truth. No, I'm
But you know, it's so interesting because I know I did want to say true, but I want to change the suffering. I want to.
yeah.
You have to be disciplined, and for some people, that's suffering. Some people, it's hard at first, but they see the growth in that. Because my thing is, whenever I want to get super disciplined in any part of my life, I prep for a competition. Because that would discipline you so fast.
That's the way you want to get disciplined. I've thought about that, but it's just never want to stick. She said, every time I want to get disciplined, I'm getting ready for a show. Whoa.
Well, you know, when you're like, say if your life just really feels like it's just, going sideways. It's like, okay, Lord, what is happening? So I say, well, because I know that disciplines me completely.
It's like for anybody who's never prepped for a fitness competition, it is, you want to test your gangster. If you want to test your gangster, get ready for a fitness competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to, when I did mine, and that was many moons ago in my 20s, Doc,
Okay.
I competed at 25.
You did which division
Figure.
did you do?
Figure.
Oh, woo.
Figure.
See, I've never done figure. I do bikini. That's
So I
easier.
competed before there was even a bikini category.
Are you serious?
Yes, that was when I competed. There was not even, bikini came in like 09.
Wow.
Yeah. I competed 08.
Now see that
So-
right there. That right there, yes.
So
yes.
my level of gangster has been tested for
Yeah.
my whole life. I just I feel like that was for life. I don't even have to do that again. Because it is a discipline like you've never experienced.
Absolutely.
Because there's a
Absolutely.
lot of saying no to things.
It's saying no to most things, including most fun, most social type of events. But one thing I will say is, I think it's, as an entrepreneur, it's real easy not to get your scheduling down. When you do a pageant, or not a pageant, when you do a competition, you got to know when you're going to work out. You got to know, you got to time your meals, and you have to be so consistent with that to get the results that you want. And so that's what I really love about the discipline. It's because, me, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do that at this time. I'll do that at this time because I can as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This doesn't allow that.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That was the thing when I competed, and I know I've gone way over time, but you came in early today, so we have time.
Yes, I'm having fun.
One of the things that Rock Shabazz, who is still my trainer to this day.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep,
Okay.
he's still my trainer
Amazing.
to this day.
Yeah.
One of the things that, he taught me when I competed was every week we would have to sit down and go through our schedule with him as the
Okay.
competitors. And I had a planner that it was, incremented your day by every 15 minutes in the planner. This when you had to write stuff. This is not just putting it on the Google. This is handwritten in a planner with the leather that you got from Office Depot.
I still
right?
have one.
And he said, you need to know and be able to account for every minute of your day if you want to win.
Wow.
And so I had my nap scheduled on, like, everything was scheduled. What time are you eating? What time are you getting up? What time are you training? Everything was written down and to the T. And
That's amazing.
And I learned, I said I wanted to compete at that age of 25 years old because I said I want to be disciplined. I'm not a disciplined person, right? I didn't think I was a disciplined person. As a person who went through college, pledged, all of those things,
Yes,
right?
which means you were.
That means I was very disciplined. But I wanted to test my gangster, and I found out just how disciplined I was. And I remember when we talk about saying no to things, I'm sitting at the table, Doc, It was Father's Day weekend. This is the week
Oh,
before a
Lord.
week before my show. Father's Day, the chef made all this stuff for my dad. I mean, it was German chocolate cake. It was all his favorite things. It was lobster tails. It was lamb chops. It was all this stuff on the table. And I am sitting down at the other end of that table with a container with 4 ounces of chicken, a fourth of a cup of rice, a fourth of a cup of broccoli, whatever was in that, weighed it out in that for that meal.
Oh,
And my dad
God.
looked at the end of that table and he was like, I've never met anyone as disciplined as you. I've never seen anybody. Because I don't even know how you're sitting here with all of this in front of you and you are sitting there with some shit you just heated up in the microwave. And I was just
Absolutely.
like, yeah, I want to win.
Absolutely.
And I think when people get into that mindset, and I can understand why you're like, look, when I want that shift, I have to go back and tap into that place.
Absolutely. Like I love that example. Now, number one, I don't even know if I could have did that. I may have grabbed a rib or something.
Girl, what's in
Did
there?
some extra cardio.
Because Doc, I was like, I want a trophy. I'm leaving here with something.
Yes, like that's a whole nother level of
Yeah.
gangster. But I really feel that most people have that discipline in some area they have not been tested in. And so if you carry out that discipline of something that's easy to you already, that's not really discipline. That's already something you already like doing. Doesn't count. But you really have to, everyone needs to test themselves. So I tell people who want to get their nutrition and their fitness in line, start with something that's bite-sized that you can stay disciplined with, because it's the consistency. It's doing the same thing over and over again in a consistent manner. So you're not fluctuating from day to day. Just start there. Maybe it's 2 days that you can be consistent with. But on those 2 days, like you said, know what you're doing from the moment you get up to the moment you go to sleep. And then it also gives you a sense of reward and an accomplishment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it rewires the brain after a while. So it's not just for this discipline protocol. You're actually changing the way your mind works and the way you think.
I mean, you totally do, because you and I both are very routine women. We have a routine. You know what you're doing in the morning. You know what you're... But it's because of all those years of putting those necessary steps in place that get you to these different pinnacles in your life. Okay. So look, you're fit, you're fine, you're all the things. You make 50 look absolutely... Here's what I want people to know. This is what 50 looks like. Stop going up to people talking about, oh my God, you look good for 50. No, this is what it looks
It
like.
should look like.
This is what it
yes.
looks like.
Yes.
So as we close out, one word you're committed to in this season of your life.
That's a good one. Can I do a hyphen in it?
You
Can we
know
make
what?
it okay?
Yeah.
Self-love.
Self-love. Self-love.
Because I think as women, we go through periods. We loving ourselves and we're not loving ourselves. I mean, just straight hardcore self-love. No matter how bad I mess up, no matter if daddy don't love me, no matter what, I love myself. And it's not for the world to know. It's for me to feel. So I would say self-love.
It's not for the world to know, it's for you to feel.
Absolutely.
I love that. Dr. B, it is a pleasure. Keep doing the work of the Lord. Keep showing up as a demonstrator for what health and wellness looks like in this season of all of our lives. And you work with my dad, so I know I'm going to pray blessings over you continuously.
Thank you so much, Brandi. I
Listen,
appreciate you.
Dr. B, another good one for the books, Vaught and Powers Talks. Be sure to share this with someone who needs to expand their health and wellness in this season. Self-love is for you to feel it every single day. Until next time, I'm your girl, Brandi Harvey. Eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day. Peace.